Welcome into the Bigger the Pill podcast, man. Y'all already know the saying, the bigger the headache, the bigger the pill, and you the pill, baby. That's anything you got going on in your life. Make sure y'all like, comment, and share. That's the only way the channel gonna grow is if y'all grow with me, I grow with y'all, and we grow together. To my live audience, I do have stars now. Feel free to send the stars. If not, I appreciate y'all being here with me anyway. Man. Haliburton done did it again, man. Haliburton done did it again, man. I'll tell y'all, second most clutch player since the playoffs started, man, and he's showing why. Once again, another game winner. When it looked like they was down and out and wasn't supposed to win the game, he come through and he do what he do, and he do it very well. Nice pull-up jumper for the game winner, midi. I ain't even know he had a midi in his bag. You know what I mean? Nice pull-up mid-range for the win. You feel me? Pacers had 9 first quarter turnovers in this game. You feel me? 9 first quarter turnovers. That OKC defense still swarming like they always do, man. 9 first quarter turnovers, and these boys still managed to pull out a win, man. Come on, man. Them OKC Thunder so active on that defensive end, bro. It's hard to do what you got to do against them boys, bro. They not going to let you do it, bro. You going to have to really force your way to do it. You got to show that you got more willpower than them boys, bro, because you're not just going to do what you want to do to them boys, bro. 9 first quarter turnovers for the Pacers, and the OKC only had 3. You feel me? But the whole time that this little turnover battle going on, you feel me? Indiana keeping it within striking range. They staying within 6 the whole time, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? 9 first quarter turnovers that's crazy. Regardless of how you want to paint it, that's crazy. OKC defense is really legit. One of the best defenses we done seen maybe this generation. Keep it all the way buck with you. Maybe this generation. Of our generation, anybody of my age and probably 5 years younger, our generation, bro, this is probably the best defense we've ever seen, bro. That was tied for the most first quarter turnovers this playoff since the playoffs started, man. Since the playoffs started, and then not to mention, bro, like I say, OKC defense so real, bro. They rotation so effortless and so perfect, bro. It makes no sense. Them boys don't even got to talk to each other, bro, on defense. You know, a lot of coaches and a lot of teams, they got to talk to each other on defense to have a real good defense, bro. Them boys so locked in on the defensive end, bro. They ain't even got to talk to each other, and they switching everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? They was on the Pacers' neck first half. Might as well say the first 3 quarters. They was on the Pacers' neck, bro, defensively, bro. Pacers couldn't do nothing. Tyrese Haliburton only had, 5 attempts? 5 attempts going into the second quarter, I believe. Let me check my notes on that. Yep, 5 shots attempt. 5 shots attempt at the half. Going into halftime, he only had 5 shot attempts, man. Still give you a game-winning buzzer beater. Looked like he was pretty much strapped up tonight. Come through when it mattered, though. He come through when it mattered. He put a Superman cape on and he come through when it mattered. And still finished the game with a double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That was a good game. This going to be a good series. Now, everybody that was talking about that 4, OKC and 4, I don't know. And how them boys came out playing tonight, I ain't too sure about OKC and 5. You know what I mean? If them boys can keep up this level of play that they put on display tonight, bro, this is going 7. This is going 7. This is definitely going 7. If they could continue what they did tonight, or not even continue what they did tonight, because like I say, they lost the first 3 quarters. It went to the 4th quarter with 0.3 seconds left on the clock when they got their first lead of the game. You know what I mean? So, but if they could do what they did tonight better, man, this is going 7, y'all. This is going 7, bro. Shea showed why he the MVP, of course. You know what I mean? Gave you 38 points, almost 40 points tonight. You know what I mean? J-Dub ain't start hooping until later in the game. You know what I'm saying? J-Dub left a lot of buckets out there on the table, so that's really what the balancing factor was. J-Dub couldn't really get busy like he wanted to. He was shooting, though. He was aggressive. He was trying to get his shot. He was looking for a shot. When SGA wasn't on the court, he knew it was his time to shine. But you know what I'm saying? He did leave a lot to be desired out there on the court. He had a lot of misses tonight. SGA, you know he gonna come and handle business, man. Like I say, it's the MVP, man. The man had 19 points, man, going into halftime. 19 points on 8 of 18 shooting. And even with 8 of 18 shooting, that ain't really an efficient night, but he did what he's supposed to do. He was aggressive all night. He hunted his shot all night, and when the shot wasn't there, he made the right play, kick it out to the shooter, and let them do the rest. It really wasn't nothing else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Pacers with the 19 first half turnovers. I thought that was what was gonna kill him. You know what I mean? Especially with you got 19 first half turnovers and you down 12 going into the half. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this look a little dangerous. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really thought it was about to get out of hand after halftime. You know what I mean? Then you had Lou Dort. He showed up and hooped tonight. You know what I'm saying? He had 5 threes made by the third quarter with 5:13 left on the clock. He came, showed up tonight. Great defensive play after great defensive play after great defensive play. Showed why he's a first team all defensive team player this year. You know what I mean? It was a great game, man. It was a great game. A lot of people thought OKC was just going to go out there and run over them boys. And like I say, I was one of them ones that really thought it. I said OKC in 5 because I figured Indiana had that chip on their shoulder and they'll pull one out. But I didn't think it was going to look like this. Like, OKC can hit them boys with all they can handle tonight. And them boys still managed to weather the storm, weather the bad turnovers, weather the downs of the game, and come out with a win. They done did their job. It don't matter. OKC could come out next game and blow them boys out by 40. It don't matter. They done did their job. They got 2 games at OKC before they go home. They stole one. That's always your first mission in a playoff series in the NBA. If you are not the team with home court advantage, steal one. That's all you got to do, steal one. And they did that. They went out there and they stole one like they should. You know what I mean? Hallie had 9 attempts, 4 made. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a great game, man. It was a nipper. Them boys been doing what they've been doing all year, man. Them boys is now 8-1 in clutch games. Pacers are now 8-1 in clutch games, man. It's hard not to say Tyrese Haliburton might not be, if not, because he did beat the clutch player of the year. So technically, he is the most clutch player in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, everybody had the whole overrated chance about him. You know what I'm saying? His own peers voted him most overrated. You know what I mean? And the whole time, you know what I mean? It was never the case. He's really that dude. He really plays winning basketball. You know what I mean? Ain't no other way to sugarcoat that, man. This was a great game tonight. You know what I mean? First free throws in the second half. Can't say it was a free throw discrepancy. You know what I'm saying? Both the refs let them boys play. They fought it out. First free throw in the second half ain't come until the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So can't really say it was a free throw type of game. And then even with that said, you know what I mean? OKC had the largest lead in the game with 9 minutes left on the clock. 79-94. You know what I'm saying? They had the largest lead of the game. You got to close that out. You know what I'm saying? SGA, you the MVP. You know what I mean? You got to be able to close that out. You know what I'm saying? The type of year y'all done had as a team, you supposed to be able to close that out. Babe, what it is, baby? What the Hallie? Nah, for real. He been doing it all playoffs. You know what I mean? Flew under the radar all playoffs. Ain't none of us thought we would see them here. But if it ain't for his clutch play, they wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? But he been playing some clutch basketball, some good basketball, and this is where we at. He done went into OKC, one of the greatest fan bases in the world, one of the loudest arenas in the NBA to play in, and pulled out a W. Had some of them people looking like they were ready to throw up right there in the stand. snatch snatch the fans' hearts. But one thing about them OKC Thunder fans, they are the sixth man. They will be back, and they will be louder than they was tonight. You can best believe and guarantee that. You know what I mean? Obi, you got to give Obi Toppin a shout out. Obi Toppin went out there, hit you 5 threes tonight after a poor start. He had careless turnover after careless turnover after careless turnover in the first half. He looked like the moment was too big for him at first. He flipped that around for you, gave you 5 threes in the game, and finished the game and then turned around and finished the game with 17 points. You know what I'm saying? 5 3-pointers made. You know what I mean? Pacers I started seeing that little run. Pacers go on a 6-0 run. You know what I'm saying? OKC stopped the run, score a basket. Pacers go on another 6-0 run. You know what I'm saying? Giving you a 12-2 run to cut the lead to 4. When I seen that happen, I say, oh, Lord, I think it's about to happen again. I started having flashbacks from the New York Knicks and the Pacers game 1. I said, boy, it might be about to happen again. And sure enough, it happened again. It happened again, man. Even Lou Dort, man, he had impact play after impact play. Even once they bought the lead down the floor, Lou Dort still out there clamping up. Had an amazing block. To get them the rock back. Just didn't score off that. If they would have scored, yes, they did score off that. That led to the SGA fast break layup. To push the lead back to 5. But you know what I mean. Like I say, man, everybody should know about it. By now, Indiana, they gonna run. Them boys gonna get out and run on made basket, missed baskets, fouls, turnovers. Them boys gonna get out and run. And sure enough, you know what I'm saying, Lou Dort come up with the big block. SGA go down the court, finish it off on the fast break lay. And as soon as they took the ball out, them boys to the races again. You know what I mean? Got back on the board. You know what I mean? So Nembhard, shout out Nembhard. Nembhard had a great fourth quarter this game. That was part of the reason why they pulled out this W. Nembhard had a great fourth quarter, finished the game with 14. Then you had what my boy name is. I think all 5 of his points or 6 of his points came in the fourth quarter too. Mathurin, you had Benedict Mathurin. He gave you 5 in the fourth. They helped Nembhard out and helped drive that comeback. You know what I mean? And once they got in the striking range, you give it to the killer. You give it to the light-skinned assassin, man. And you let that boy do what he do. And that's what he did. Came up the court, fresh out the inbound, them boy moving, come up the court, found his matchup, exploit his matchup. Nice mid-range pull-up to seal the game. Great game, man. Great game. It was a big challenge. Rick Carlisle made a big challenge with 22 and a half seconds on the clock. And although he didn't win the challenge, I look at the bigger picture with that. Although he didn't win the challenge, he got the opportunity to actually get his players a little bit of rest and sub in and sub out who he wanted in the game at that time. Because he knew like this was their moment. You know what I mean? So he took full advantage of that challenge timeout. You know what I'm saying? Although he didn't win the challenge, he still maximized the challenge and the time that he was given for the challenge to the utmost of his ability, and it paid off for him. Like I told y'all, man, Rick Carlisle is a championship winning coach. You know what I mean? He is a champion. This man done been here before. He know what he doing. He made great adjustment after great adjustment all night. You know what I mean? Whenever OKC wanted to go small, he knew he had the talent to put in to go small. And then on top of going small, instead of going all the way small, just pull Miles Turnoff and leave Pascal Siakam out there. You know Pascal Siakam is a mismatch hunter. Anybody shorter than 6'6" guard him, you at his mercy. You just gotta hope he miss it. You know what I mean? And that's what Pascal did. Played the game smart, played the game at his own pace, and took the shots that he was given. Gave you 19 to 10 tonight. Had a lot of hustle rebounds. Had a lot of good hustle rebounds that kept him in this game tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all before, he was the X factor in that Knicks series. He gonna be the X factor in this series. Just like Alex Caruso is the X factor for OKC in this series. They are both champions. They know what it feel like to be here. They've been in these moments. These boys both have came out as the victors in moments like this. So that's the X factors that you got to deal with when you watching this series. You know what I'm saying? Those two, if those two having a good night, then you know what type of game that you in tune for. You know what I'm saying? If they having a bad night, you know what I'm saying, you know what type of game you in tune for. You know what I'm saying? Very seldom you're going to see both of them having bad nights because, like I say, they got the know-it-all and they got the experience to be in this moment and take full advantage of this moment to the best of their abilities. That's why they're both champions. Although they play for different teams, they're both champions. Even Thomas Bryant is a champion, although he hasn't. I don't think he got too much play tonight. He finished the game with 5 points, 8 minutes. You know what I mean? But even Thomas Bryant is a champion. Thomas Bryant got a ring with Yoke Dog and them boys, with Denver Nuggets and them boys. He was on that roster. Even he knows what it feels like to be there. Although he only played like 28 seconds that whole series, you know what I mean? But he knows what it feels like to be there, the routines, the behaviors, the habits, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, we had a great game tonight, y'all. We had a great game tonight. It just boiled down to Haliburton, you know what I'm saying? Which superstar was going to put the nail in the coffin? SGA had an opportunity to put the nail in the coffin. He couldn't do it. Haliburton had a chance to put the nail in the coffin and bury the coffin, and he did it. That's just bottom line. You know what I mean? SGA, you can't be mad at SGA. The man gave you all he had. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, the man played 40 minutes and almost had 40 points tonight, doing MVP things. But when it come down to it, you in the NBA Finals. Moments like that, you got to capitalize, and you got to put an end to it. That's the bottom line. Bottom line. But other than that, man, it was a great game, great start to the NBA Finals. I can't wait to see how this shake out. Y'all already know I got OKC in 5. But like I say, man, if Indiana can replicate these type of performances and build upon these type of performances, it's going 7 for sure. It's definitely going 7. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Great game tonight, man. If y'all ain't watching, man, y'all better go back and watch it. You feel me? But got a couple announcements. We got a couple announcements. So I do have some new ventures that I'm gonna be joining in on. Soon as I get full concrete information on that, y'all will get it. Y'all know how that go. June 21st. I have my 3 guests that I will be interviewing. I'm gonna introduce them to y'all. Y'all show them some love. You know what I mean? As soon as I get everything concrete with that, you know what I mean, I'll let y'all in on that as well. But June 21st, I will be at the Podcast Expo on Two Notch Road. We going over there. We gonna put on a nice little show. We gonna interview a couple people. We gonna watch a couple performances together, and we gonna have a good time. You know what I mean? If y'all can, you know what I mean, tune in for that. I appreciate all the love and support. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, cause like I say, I ain't really got too much else for y'all. Great game, man. It was a great game. And I hope the whole series is like this. I know I picked OKC in 5, but I did not want to see no quick series like that. I want to see a good series, man. This is the NBA Finals, man. I'm your host, Curtis McNeil. This has been the Bigger the Pill podcast. Y'all already know the saying, man. The bigger the headache, the bigger the pill, and you the pill, baby. That's anything you got going on in your life. Make sure y'all like, comment, and share. That's the only way the channel gonna grow is if y'all grow with me, I grow with y'all. We grow together. To my live audience, I do have stars now. Feel free to send the stars. If not, I appreciate y'all being here with me anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. And I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Game 1 of the finals is in the books. Final score 111, 110. Indiana Pacers go and get game 1. Let's see what happened game 2. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. June 8th, game 2. We up out of here, man.